friends, it's Holly. Welcome back to Dandelion Stitches. Welcome if you're new, if you're not new, if you could subscribe, ring the bell, all the stuff, that would be amazing. So today we're going to make a pouch, and I'm going to take you step by step in making one of these. It's just a simple little pouch that can carry your stuff. You can use it for any number of, really, it's endless. We're gonna take pouch making 101 and we're just gonna ratchet it up just a little bit. So I'm gonna show you how to add tabs to the ends of your zippers so that it comes out nice and clean. As an example of a not nice and clean zipper, this is what happens if you don't put tabs on the ends of your zippers. You get kind of this bunchy kind of thing going on there. And we're also going to box the bottoms. So it's a long one, and I apologize, but I wanted to take it step by step so that there would not be any confusion, or that you'd be going along and going, wait, what, missed that, what's happening? So hopefully that does not happen to you, and also that this is just not a drudge. But you can always fast forward through, what you don't like or what you already know. Or anyway, let's get to it. Okay, I'm going to show you some examples of bags that I have made, and I make them for any number of reasons. Carry one in my purse to put all my goods, the stuff you don't just want floating around the bottom of your purse. I make them to give to my grandchildren, stuffed with little treasures, either on holidays or just because if they did good in school, or whatever. Traveling, notions. Really, the list of ways that you can use these bags is pretty much endless. So you can make them in any size you want. You can literally any size you want. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that the zipper needs to be an inch shorter than the top measurement of your bag fabric. But we will get to that. But otherwise, you can make them short and long, you can make them tall and fat, you can, whatever you have a need for. So I usually buy my zippers by the yard or very long. And this one was by the yard. And as you can see, we've got some little tabbies on the ends, gives it a slightly more polished look. And then we got the interior. This particular one I used using some Shape Flex to give the fabric just a little bit more body. Now this is not my particularly favorite way, because Shape Flex sometimes wrinkles, and you can surely iron it out, that's not a problem, but I don't know, it's just not, but it will. It's standing right up there, so there's that. This one is just quilting cotton, and you can see it's just, which is good for lots of other things. You can stuff it like crazy when it's like this. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's just got a little bit less body. It's still functional. It's still as cool a bag as any of the other bags. It's just a little squishy. Now my favorite thing to do is to add a little batting. And so this bag has a little batting behind it, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do today, is to add the batting. But as you have seen, it's just an option. You can do whatever you like, and you'll notice that this one is longer and skinnier, but we still have our boxed bottom, zipper on the top. This zipper happens to be a just plain old dressmaking zipper, so I put a little something. So there's the interior. You can also be really creative and put a little tab in the seam. It looks cute, gives you a little something to hold on to, especially on this side. Well, not necessarily on either side. So there's our options or our examples. So what we are going to need is, you're going to need fabric for your exterior, which I'm using this cute typewriter fabric, and your interior. Oh, I wanted to mention too is you'll see like this one, I in that pineapple slice box, that teeny, there was a little surprise thing of mini charms. I just sewed them all together, and so it's, you could use an orphaned block from a pattern you've been using. You can quilt something amazing, you know, you can do. This one, I just added a little piece on the bottom to just give it a little something extra. But you can, and then this one, you know, we've already talked about those. So it's really a place where you can have some fun. So I've got my exterior fabric along with a piece of batting. I am doing 11.5 long and 8.5 or 8 tall. It's just random. It just was, it's kind of my go-to one. So that's why we're doing that. And then you need to have your interior. Isn't that adorable? It's like a keyboard. There's like typewriters and keyboards. This is so cute. You also are going to need two 2-inch squares of whatever fabric you want to use for your zipper tabs. You will need a zipper. You will need a cutting something, and why can't words come to me? Those guys. You know what they are. So the first thing I'm going to do is, and I'm not going to do this on camera, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and quilt this. All I'm going to do for this one is just quilt a line up the center and then just do a few diagonally. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Doesn't need to take a lot of time. It just helps to adhere the batting to the front fabric, and it also gives it a little bit of body. Now you can take, Sue Fisher, this is for you. This is 505 adhesive. I'm still going to do a video on using adhesive to spray-based, glue-based your quilt, but this is 505 adhesive. And you can use this before you go ahead and quilt at my machine. And I'm just going to quick show you. I got a window open just in case anyone's fearful for my lung health. You're supposed to do this in a well-ventilated room. There, that's all there is to that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and quilt these, and I shall return. Alrighty, so we've got 2 pieces of exterior fabric quilted, ready to go. We've got 2 pieces of interior lining fabric. Now, what we're going to do here is prepare for the box bottom. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I cheat. I do 2 at a time. So you're gonna need a marker of some sort. So I'm gonna do an inch and a quarter, or close up to that. Can you? Nope, you can't. Honestly, to be perfectly open, I frequently do all 4 of them at the same time. But since we're learning here, so got my little ruler here, and I am just gonna draw a little square. Obviously, the bigger the bag, the bigger the square here. This is for the boxed bottom. So the littler bags, like this one, I just did 1 inch. And then you just take your scissors. And that's the lining. Now we're gonna do the outside. These also make super good little project bags if you're like knitting or crocheting something small, or embroidering, you know, that sort of thing. Quarter. Can you hear the wind chimes out the window? It just got a good breeze. Such nice weather right now. Okay, and again with the chop chop. Ooh, it came off. That almost never happens. Goodness. It's a banner day. Oh, that one did too. It's a miracle. Okay, so we got the interior, we got the exterior. Now we're gonna play with the zipper. So we know that the top edge of our bag is 11.5 inches. So our zipper needs to be 10.5 inches. So the first thing, this happens to be a by Annie double zip. It's like crazy long. So I'm going to take one zipper pull and just go because I'm not going to need it. And I am going to chop off the metal piece. And then we are going to measure. Now, if you would feel more comfortable, you could take your marking pen and put a mark there before cutting it. It's whatever makes you feel better. Okay, so we've got at an inch shorter than your bag. So your little 2-inch pieces of fabric, take them to your iron or your ironing mat or whatever and fold them in half. And then fold in the two sides and fold them in half again, so you get a little thing like this. So you have two of these little tabs. So now you're just going to kind of position it on the end of your zipper so that it's sort of in the middle. And then you take one of those guys and put it on the end. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just stick it on the end there. Take a Wonder Clip, which finally just came to me, and stick it on the end. All right, let's go to the sewing machine. All right, so I've got my zipper foot on already. At this point, you wouldn't absolutely have to have it, but I'm preparing for putting the zipper into the bag, so I've already got it on. I also have my walking foot down. If you've got a walking foot, it's going to make your life a little bit easier here, coming up pretty quick, but it's going to make a big noise here. Oh, that wasn't too bad. All right, now we are just going to top stitch. I usually like to put it on a 3-stitch length when I top stitch, and we're just going to go right along the edge of that zipper tab. So, oh, it's not liking the zipper foot. Okay, never mind, just a second. I got rid of the, excuse me, the walking foot. It did not like the zipper foot. So, one down. And there we go. We got zipper tabs. So now we're going to take our scissors and we're going to just trim those tabbies so that they're flush with the zipper. Well, that was ridiculous. I can't cut in a straight line. I have Yellow Submarine in my head today. Do you ever get songs in your head? Today is a Yellow Submarine day. I don't know why. So now we're going to make a little sandwich. So we're going to take, excuse me, the top, the exterior, and we're going to lay the zipper down, face down, and kind of center it on that piece. That looks pretty good. So then I'm going to take a couple of, oops, that was vigorously done, and just kind of set them in here so that they don't go anywhere when we make the second half of our sandwich. So I don't know if any of you noticed, but yeah, I cut the box bottom on the top. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that the fabric was directional, but it's the lining and, you know, it's fine. Everything's fine. So we're going to just lay the lining fabric down on top of our exterior fabric and the zipper and create a sandwich. And just using your binder clips, your little clippy guys. We're just gonna keep that zipper up towards the top, along the top edge. And finally do that last one. So if you are new to zippers, a wider zipper tape like Annie's does is your best friend, but be not afraid. A zipper, it's all good. It's just another piece of fabric that's got a function. So I am going to stitch about 1/4 inch because I do have this extra wide zipper tape, but about 1/4 inch from the edge. So here we go. Back tack a little. Okay, we're coming up on the zipper pull. So I'm just going to reach under here. I'm going to lift my zipper foot, presser foot. I'm going to move that zipper head back to where we've already stitched so that it's not in the way. Get everything else all copacetic here. there we have it. Our zipper is in and all happy. So now I'm just gonna finger press this fabric. I mean, you can take it to the ironing board or the ironing mat if you so desire, but I am just gonna finger press it, and we are going to top stitch using that number 3 if that makes you happy in stitch length. And I am just going to go along, come on thread, there we go, okay. Just along the edge, I kind of run the end of the edge of the zipper foot along the edge here, and we're just gonna, also keeping in mind that we're only going through the exterior fabric. This is the lining, and the lining is completely out of the way. It's not gonna get in the way. So come on. One down. I'm putting my stitch length back to 2.4. One side down, one to go. And yes, there's some overlap, and we'll deal with that later. Okay, so we've got one side done, and we're going to do exactly the same thing with the other side. We've got the exterior fabric. We're going to flip the zipper over, center it, and this time you can use your first side to kind of line up where you're going to put the zipper. So the sides all line up. Get some little under clips. Just like last time, I just do the end so that I kind of, it's like the basting stitch. And again, just like last time. And if you don't want to watch me do this again, you can feel free to just fast forward through to the next part, because I'm going to be doing the exact same thing that I did on the first one. Quarter inch seam. Oh, I hate when it does that. Come on, you can do it. Come on. There we go. That would have been a good place to use a stiletto as opposed to me pushing it. Keep your fingers in one piece or without being impaled. Okay, coming up on that zipper head. This time it's going to be down underneath farther, so just find it, move it. Oh, now I'm going to give another song in my head. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You can tell I have grandchildren. Okay. Sure that's where it needs to be. And voila, we have a zipper completed. And just like last time, we're gonna finger press. I try to get the seam underneath going that direction, so the top stitching picks up that piece of seam, but not imperative. And again, the lining is not beneath here. The lining is over here. And she goes off the edge. So, look at that. It's a zipper. Ta-da! And it zips and it unzips. Okay, so now we're going to do the kind of the magic that puts it all together. But this is very important, and I cannot stress this to you enough. This is a good time to open your zipper. If you put the bag together and you don't open the zipper first, you can't get it turned right side out. And it's sad. So open that zipper. So now we're going to take our front pieces or our exterior pieces, and we're just gonna put them together. I usually line up the bottom first. Get out those Wonder Clips. See, I do know what they're called. It's just my silly brain. When I learned that I had essential tremors, I thought it was just tremoring, but apparently it also affects your brain. Well, it is in your brain, but anyway, you forget things. Words do not come. So then I go up here and I find the edges of the exterior. The exterior, here's the lining, and I put a nice little Wonder Clip there, and then maybe another one over here, and then I do the same thing on this side, and I usually push the zipper towards the lining. It's not going to matter what you do, but that's usually what I do. Try and line up those exteriors. Oh, see, not perfect. Not perfect. Okay, and now we're going to do the exact same thing to the lining. I find the bottom. But the lining, we are not going to sew all the way across. We're going to leave an opening big enough for you to be able to get your fingers through. Now, I don't really think you need to get your whole hand in there, but you do need to be able to get your fingers through. So I usually put a clip on one side and a clip on the other side, knowing that that's what I'm going to leave open. And then just, and in this case, the lining got overshot. It's fine. On the other side. If you had turned your stitch length to 3, now is a good time to turn it back to 2.4 or 5 or whatever is your best. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to stitch from somewhere along here to the end. Stop. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to stitch from here all the way down to the end of this. But now when you get to where you can feel the zipper bump, you want to try and not get that bump into the seam. It will not be a problem. I'll show you when I do it. But that's going to keep that zipper tab out of the seam and allow it to pop up, giving it that kind of more professional look. So about a 1/4 inch seam or so. It's not super important as long as you're consistent. stitch, and then off the end. Okay, so here we're coming up to the, and you can kind of see there's a bump there, and you just want to use your zipper foot and just ride past that bump. There we go. Now this time we're going to sew all the way across the bottom of this. Oop, no, we're good. Okay. And then just like the other side, we're just going to sew all the way down. And here we come up to the bump again. Okay. Whoop. I don't like a zipper foot. And the little corner pokes out, but it does make it easier. Did I just lose my... Yep. Oh, stop. Okay. I came on threaded, and so I stopped and got everything back again. And so now we're coming to the bump. And we're just, in this case, that seam gets caught in the zipper foot edge. And then all the way to the bottom. And then make sure that unthreading does not happen again. In a little ways here. I'll put a little more. And then we're going to backstitch. Okay, do corners. So let's do the exteriors first. That just seemed way too soon. So these little squares, what you're going to do is open them out so that the seams match. I usually try to like nestle, put one seam allowance one direction and one the other, especially using batting so that it doesn't get too chunky. Same thing on this side. Okay, and then we're going to do the exact same thing to the lining. I bore you with watching it all, but we'll do these together. You know what? At this point, you do not need the zipper foot anymore, and I am going to get rid of it because it annoys me. Okay. There. That's better. Okay. So, take off that clip, line it up. was a little more than a 1/4 inch. Okay, I'm going to do the lining and I'll be right back. So we've got the outside corners done. We've got the lining corners done. Now is time to turn it right side out. Hand in there, zipper's undone, so it makes it super easy. And just turn it right side out. Stick your hand back in there and get those corners out. Pop up the zipper tabs. Okay, so now you're left with this hole in the bottom. You can go ahead and hand stitch it if you like. If you want it to look very professional and kind of invisible, you can definitely do that. I just fold the edges under. Sorry, I keep getting out of frame for you. There we go. So now we just stuff that lining down inside, get the corners, use your fingers down in the edges to get the corners down where they belong. And you got a pouch. And look at that. See, the little tabs come up nice so there isn't any weird puckering. The bottom looks amazing. It stands up by itself. You can get all kinds of your stuff in there. It's upside down. What do I care? That's it. Now, when I have like a zipper that doesn't have a snazzy pull and that's got a little hole in it, I usually try to put something cute through it. Piece of ribbon or a piece of fabric or a little charm or something like that. But I will meet you back at the other camera. So that's it. It's quick and easy. I mean, well, quick, you know, this is like 40-minute video, but it was because I was talking while I was working. You'll be able to whip these out in half an hour easy once you've done them, you know, one time. And again, you can make them in any size, any shape, any, you know, for whatever you need. Pencils, stuff, lip gloss in your purse, girl stuff, you know, whatever you need a bag for. So it's a cutie. I hope you enjoyed or that it helped you in any way. So be well, be safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.